Welcome to Framework Fortune. I'm your host, Ben. Now let's get into some live trading here in the stock market and check out what is going on. Oh boy, we got this NQ still failing to get above 13,000. Not looking too good. Let's see, what was in these news headlines? There's a Fed meeting. When is this Fed meeting? Stocks futures pointed to muted gains for major indexes while the worst bond rout in decades continues. Nasty. The yield on the 10-year Treasury notes rose to 3% Monday, or when it surpassed 3% for the first time before 2018, slipping back. Oh boy. They've also dragged up government borrowing costs globally. The yield on a 10-year German government bond surpassed 1% since the first time since 2015. Overseas stock markets broadly rose. I don't care about that. What is going on? Okay. Let's see. All eyes on the Fed's next step as the central bank tries to tap the brakes on the fastest pace of inflation in decades. But remember, it was just transitory. It was transitory, right? Yeah, okay. There we go. Rising rates with the China shutdown and the war in Ukraine, blah, blah, blah. The Fed is expected to raise interest rates by 0.5 percentage point. The first such in 22 years and falling from a quarter point. So we've got Wednesday. The Feds, well, that's tomorrow. We've got tomorrow. The Feds are probably going to be trying to raise the interest rates 0.5 point. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I don't even want to read the rest of this. So this is going to be a real sketchy market this week. More sketchy probably than we've been seeing, which is pretty sketchy. What's up, Lori Lee? How's it going? Let's see. I'm using this new streaming deal here where we're trying to stream to Twitch and YouTube. So you guys have to bear with me a little bit on a few things, possibly. I don't know. So far, so good. There we go. And I got the chat up for both you guys. So I can see in the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat. But anyway, we know we're just hanging out at 13,000. Boy, there's a lot of news on the NQ. How will boomers draw down their 401k balances? Yep. Well, I've been saying that. If you're in a 401k, you're going to be running into some issues. All right, anyway, let's see what is happening in these futures. We got oil right around 105 still. Gold having a nice little bounce off of that 1850 area. That must mean I'm good, Lori. How are you? The little guy at. Let's see if I can pin this thing. Give me just a second. Yeah, like I said, today's a bit of an experiment day with the streaming, so I did some private streams and it all worked just fine, but I didn't have anybody in the chat to experiment with these chat settings. Okay. Anyway, where'd that trading view go? There we go. Let's see. So we got gold moving up, silver moving up, platinum moving back up, nickel moving down a little bit, copper moving up. So most precious metals are moving up. Bitcoin around 38, Ether is holding around at 28. Uranium looks like it's still around that 23 area. And then the real estate market, this is my biggest concern right now. What am I on? This is a daily chart. Okay. So we just cracked really, really hard, making new lows through this previous support at 400 on the real estate market, on the real estate index. There's a lot about to happen, and we'll get into that in just a little bit after we do some live trading. But I think I've pinpointed what is happening, and it's not very pleasant. So we'll see what's happening on there. You're thinking of buying Ropi or DBX for tomorrow's rip, but scared if they pull a shelf registration. Yeah, I mean, that's something to be concerned with, but also the Fed meeting is tomorrow. So we know usually in the mornings before the Feds come out and do their actual meeting, the stock market is pretty quiet most of the time. So, like as I said, I'm not swinging anything anymore in the stock market until I'm just not swinging anything until we have a bigger crash, or well, this ain't even a crash. Until we have a crash or a bigger pullback than what we've had, or we see some type of change in things, I'm just not swinging any stocks. It's too unpredictable at the moment. But that's just my thoughts on it. Let's see what we got going on. A low flow OST. This just started bouncing up. Actually, kind of like what I'm seeing here. This was just halted. This is a dead cat bounce. Got plenty of room on this hour chart. Let me see here. Plenty of room on the hour chart. Just needs to break at 4 area. This was an IPO, dropped quite a bit. Let me hop into a 15-minute on this thing, see what we're looking like here. Actually, remove that. I like what I'm seeing. I'm liking this little pattern. Nice little uptrend. Yeah, OST is going on watch. This is a pure dead cat bounce technical play. There's no reason whatsoever. Oh, let's see. Hold on a minute. OST plunged 88 in cautionary. What is the difference? A Chinese supplier of display modules gave back. There was no reason for this thing to drop this hard. It was scared off by some type of article or something they're saying that scared investors out of it. But this is a Chinese company, and we know what's going on in China right now in these Chinese companies. They are making some money. I don't know if this one is. This is a new IPO. We don't have a lot to go off of. I'm just looking. If we break 450, we got room all the way up to $10. I mean, there's nothing back through here on this daily because it's an IPO. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start building a position. I'm gonna hop in here at 420. I like that number. This SNOA, I saw H was trading this. I don't know what he was thinking. Now that I'm looking at this, I saw it in his live stream. But looking at this chart here on the daily, this is a no man's land setup. You know, you're right there in the middle of the EMAs, and I don't like those no man setups, so I definitely ain't messing with that. We got hour, that's below 200. I don't want nothing to do with that. HCDI way up. Apron, as I was saying yesterday, apron, keep that on watch. As that thing started, you know, it was making a nice bull flag. It didn't break out of that flag yesterday, but it ended up holding all of its gains from this rip. So today getting another push, and Forge as well. Forge just continuing to explode. So if anybody got Forge at any time, very nice job. Where's that play? I want to keep an eye on OST. Let's see, you gonna pull back down anymore? See, I'm in at 420. That's right. on those 10 shares. I'll plan on adding more because I think we may get a little drop down to 4, and that's where I want to add the bulk of my position. Yeah, there we go. Come on down here. Come on down here. How low float is it? Yeah, 13 million shares. I'm gonna grab another 5 right here, right at this 415 area. Bring my average down a little bit, cause I don't like nothing else on there. Mid floats. SOUN is at the top 10% gainers. We got ENVX that actually had it's below all EMAs. I don't want to touch it. IGP, I don't like nothing I'm seeing there. Day trade above this VTNR. We got both those on watch. Yeah, so I ain't seeing too much else that I like at the moment anyway. So let's just focus on OST here. See if I can get a nice little entry. Now, if you heard me say earlier, I don't like trading things under the EMAs. However, this is one of those exceptions because of how hard this thing pulled back after that IPO, and we're just so low that we have just so much room to the upside. But, you know, at the same time, it may not run. There we are, down to 409. Come on down here. Come on down here. Let's grab another 5 right there in that 406 area. Bring me to 416. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch into an hour chart just to see what we're looking like on this longer time frame. But let's get rid of these extra space, or this extra space. Boom. Oh yeah, the 10-day on the hour is at 350. 350 is a little bit below the trend line at the moment. Actually, let me readjust it to the hour chart because the hour chart's a longer time frame, so the trend line is going to be more accurate on the hour chart. Looks like it's something about right. It's not letting me. Now, if we start going green here on this hour chart, we may start moving up again. See this candle starting to turn green. I'm going to add some more here. Get out of here. Okay, I'm in 30 shares. If it starts dipping some more, I'll add some more, but I don't know if we're going to dip on this. Let me go into 10 share size or something. And let's just keep the eye on that hour chart. Back up to 420. Alright, having little issues with 420. Let me pull over the time or the level 2 here, see what's happening with the orders. Let's see, I'm assuming there's going to be some resistance at, well, maybe not 425. Maybe 450, maybe that main resistance, because 450, like I said, is the break point where, yeah, right through here, 455. Of course, there's going to be some resistance at 5, it being a natural support area, or natural support and resistance area. All right, let's see if this thing continues to climb up. Just hang out here and give it some time. Let's see, do I want to add a little bit more? I might add a little bit more in this 415 again. 415 is trying to hold that support. Look at those bids stacking there. Let's see if I continue to stack. I might add this. Let's see. Got 10 minutes on this 15-minute candle. I want to add 5 more. we go, starting to test that bid stacking at 420. Coming up to 425 here. Let's see if we can break it. Oh, little rejection there at 425. I may put another. I'm gonna put a limit order in for a buy right on 415. Oh, and it just hit it. Okay, we dropped down a little bit more. So we got a little rejection off at 425. That's gonna be a problem. Let's see. I need to calculate my risk now. I'm in 50 shares. Let's see if I'm in at 415. 50 shares. 20 cents would be. $0.20 would be about $3.95. Shares, 25 cents. 10. I definitely don't think I'm gonna hold it all the way down to 350. I think I'm gonna probably keep a mental stop loss for the second at 390 while we're kind of figuring it out. This price action while buyers and sellers are figuring it out, I should say, not us. But I certainly could add some more. Like I said, if it comes down to 4, that's probably where I'll try to add and really get my average down at. So far, we're holding pretty decently, though. And back over 415 again. So 415 is trying to hold as support as we're trying to test 425 as resistance. 415 fell on the hold again. 410 holding there. A lot of orders stacked, and we're back up around 415. See these bids get back over 415. See right now all the 415s are on the ask side. They're on the sell side. We need to get that all out of there. It needs to be on the buy side. Yeah, RDBX definitely gave up a lot of profits. See, the NQ is holding above 1300 right now. Just had a little bounce, a little volatile bounce, but well, on the 15-minute chart, got a little double bottomish here. But I'd say until we get over 13,150. U.S. stocks wobble ahead of the stocks are wobbly wop. They don't. Only the real Lil Wayne fans know what I was talking about there. The old school Lil Wayne fans. We're still holding 410. Let's see. We got 5 minutes on this 15-minute candle to close. I think if we can hold in a little bit of a doji here above 410, we'll be all right. Remember, this is a low float play. It's an IPO. It is a bit dangerous. And it is a dead cat bounce below all, possible dead cat bounce below all EMAs. So it is a bit risky. Because the dead cat bounce could be done. This could have been all it had, just this one little bounce today. But since we're uptrending, I don't think that's the case. What's everybody else trading and looking at? Okay, we're starting to crack that 410 a little bit here, so we may come on down to that $4 area. I don't know if I'm going to add or not. I may just keep 50 and just stay right there. Oh, no, 410 holding again. 415 still, clearly some resistance here. But shouldn't be too much. We've been testing around at 415 for a while. And it was holding the support earlier. No problem, GD. I'm gonna try to do that every morning. I'll pop over in H&H's stream and let you guys know when I'm going live. We should be in that time of 9:30 to 10 a.m. Central regularly. I don't think from here on out, unless I have a meeting or something like that I cannot get around this time period. Everything should be back to regularly normal scheduled programming, as I have been doing quite a bit behind the scenes. All of us on the team have been doing quite a bit behind the scenes, because we're about to do a hostile takeover of the internet with the Framework Fortune Network. Hence the testing with Twitch today, because if everything goes well with this stream to YouTube and Twitch with the Framework Fortune home channel, then we will be streaming all streams from Framework Fortune home channel and Framework Fortune Crypto to Twitch as well, which Twitch has no delay or very, very little delay when it comes to streaming. But we'll be doing both at the same time across all Framework Fortune channels, as long as everything holds up. What's up, Austin? How's it going, my friend? Oh yeah. We're busy, but we're busy. We're good busy. We're making progress, and soon everybody's gonna see all the progress start to come to light, because there's a lot of back end stuff, with the blockchain project and everything else, the website, everything we're doing, and we're a small team. We're a very small team. we're not even schmedium. We're just small. Let's see. We got a minute and a half on this 15-minute candle left. I'm going to give it a second here. 410 is still holding. I'm thinking about maybe adding, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to yet until this thing shows me that's going to hold up above 4. Because if this candle closes and the next one opens like right at 4, we could have it dip down to about 383.90. And then if the trend line doesn't hold, we could easily give back all of these gains. If the trend line does hold, we should see some type of bounce. It's a little concerning that 450, 425, 415 were all holding as pretty strong resistance. But we are in a little, there it goes, there comes that pullback. I am going to add there. Give me down to 412. Give me one more off 390. Oh, no, okay. So we're fixing to close on this candle. See if I can get 5 more. There we go. So I got 65. And about an average of 411. Now let's just see if, let's go ahead. We're fixing to close, so you can see that candle closing and the new one opening here on the 15-minute. This candle needs to push green and break this little short-term downtrend, which that short-term downtrend is at 410. See, we're trying to hold right around 4 here. As long as 4 holds support, we should see some type of bounce. 4 starting to hold, and we're still in the overall channel. Oh, 4 cracked again. The 10-day on the hour is still all the way down to 350. 350 is a lot stronger than 4. We are getting kind of a flat top here, a little double top on the hour chart, but we got 45 minutes left on this candle. So a lot could transpire in that time. We don't know if it's going to close as a double top. If it does start breaking this little short downtrend and pushing back up, then this candle will start to go green, which will then be very bullish looking for OST. But it's got to hold 4 here. Really don't want to see it down to 350 or 375. That will shake my confidence in this setup. NQ unable to get over that 13,150. Having a little pullback. OST, yeah, I know. OST to me it looks, I'm willing to take the risk on a dead cat bounce with this much potential to the upside. Just like the video where I put out the other day, risk to reward ratio. Well, you have a whole ceiling, which it may never get back up to $40. We don't know. It is not likely that it'll go back up that fast within a day or two like it did that first initial IPO. But the sell-off 3 days straight was like way oversold for this. And like I said, if you read that news, it's a cautionary tale. The stock plunged in a cautionary tale to IPO investors. So who was the person telling this cautionary tale who wanted to drop the price of this stock? Because it sounds like they wanted to drop the price of it so they could get it a lot cheaper, 10 times cheaper than what it was at. But who knows? Who knows the politics behind whatever's going on with OST. I'm just looking at this chart pattern, and the distance to zero, not that far, and then the distance to the top, to the high, is really far. And we don't really have a reason to be this low. I mean, it IPO'd at $10, so we're $6 under the IPO price from 4 days ago. Give me just a second, guys. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Starting to rebound here. Back over 410. Testing that short-term downtrend. We want to see it get back over 425 now. Gets back over 425. we are going to be looking real frisky. You said you got in at 398, Austin. Man, that's a better entry than I got. You beat me by about 13 cents, but I was getting in kind of early there because I wasn't sure if it was going to have this pullback or not from the way it was looking here. But I slowly added in just to be cautious on that. Let's see you break up over 415 here. Let's set 415 on the ask. And don't fail 410. We need to hold 410. Okay, bid stacking at 410 very nicely. See some 415s on this ask. Come on. Decent size seller sitting on 411. This is up 36%, so this should be on everyone's scanners. We just need to see it. Get the buying volume to break the probably at 450 area, and then we'll probably see. Well, I don't want to say probably because with dead cats, it's not an exact science. But if we break 450, everybody will see that. Whoops, across the market. Now, whether they come into it or not. Whoa, hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Whether they come into it or not at that time, like that's when we're going to need abundance of traders to start catching FOMO if this thing starts really breaking out and continuing to push the movement up. But we'll see. And at the moment, we still haven't broken this immediate short-term downtrend. We're still struggling at 410. It's holding good for a minute. There we go. Back over it again. We do not need to go below 410 anymore. Got to stop testing bottom support and start testing resistance lines. Yeah, you're in a real good spot, Austin, because right now you're in the profit. Regardless, you're just hanging out now at this point, getting in under 4 at that 398 on that little dip down there. You're just sitting, chilling, waiting to see. You got a good spot. And that's what I was talking about in that video. Low risk, high reward plays. Because even if you ignore the daily chart, the whole dead cat bounce, the price range on this from that bottom, we draw these distance. That was the bottom there. So right on the trend line here is not that far down to that bottom, and then even right on the trend line here is not that far down. So, until we start getting higher up on this trend line and the distance starts getting further and further away from that low in pre-market there. Well, I don't even know if that's the low. Yeah, it might as well be. It's flat through pre-market. This is where I would expect a bigger pullback when we start. If we come back up and break 5 and maybe shoot up to the top at like $6, then that's a long distance back down that we could drop. But right here, right in here, we're just now getting. We're just getting in on the trend line. Very low risk, although, this is $1 from where we're at. But you gotta remember, it's a 13 million in share float. So $1 up and down for it to move in a candle is not that much. Not that big of a deal. We're starting to pop back up over 415 now. Starting to actually kind of break the downtrend. Come on up here. Price is Right. Let's go. Where's Drew Carey at? Where's Bob Barker? 415 trying to hold. Let's see if it can start holding here. 415 holding. Up, little crack. Got some sellers at 415 again. Got 4 minutes on this 15-minute candle. But if the setup breaks, if it cracks this trend line, this is a good setup regardless. I'm taking this setup all day, every day. Especially when you add into the daily chart and we are way down here. All I was saying earlier about it being an IPO and dropping. 415 starting to hold. Buyers are fighting to hold it right now. Okay, there we go. Let's see them bids start stacking there. They're starting to stack at 415. And we're starting to move on back up. Let's break his 420 finally. 420 breaking down. 425 testing. Let's see it. Come on. Let's see that 425 break. Let's get frisky. Let's get frisky. Oh, here we go. 425 starting to break. Testing 430. 430, a little selling pressure. 4 minutes on this candle yet. We still want to see this candle close above this downtrend, the short-term one. But I think we're looking pretty good here. Getting all the way up to 430. We may break that. Breaking 430. Got a little selling at 433. They're getting taken out. 430 holding so far. Bids holding. 433. Why are we getting held up at 433? Get these damn sellers out of the way at 433. Kind of nonsense. All right, so okay, good. Bid stacked at 425. Having this little pullback, we want to see 425 hold now. I don't think 433 is going to be that big of a deal. It's just a little half a step here. Yeah, there it goes. They're taking it out right now. Get that the hell out of here. There we go, up to 440. All right, that downtrend is broken. Now let's see 450 break, and then we should be off to the top of this trend line. Let's see. Coming up right now for a test of 450. Up, little rejection, little bit of pressure, keeping us from getting to the 450. John F., you're in a little high, 423. Well, I mean, you're up 20 cents now, so it wouldn't be a terrible idea to think about locking in a little bit of profits and maybe put at this 450 area. You never know. I only got 65 shares, so I'm not risking like you're 400 in. If this drops fast, you could lose potentially quite a bit more than I could. So my risk is quite a bit less than yours just because of share size. But, never a bad idea to lock out some profits when you're in the green. Let's see here. 450 is the major area though, because 450 is right here. That is the flat top right across there, the bottom of this candle. Top of this candle, top of this candle. So very, very strong resistance here. So it is possible we don't break. Oh, we just busted right over it. Never mind. As I said that. Here we go. On up to 465. So next resistance is going to be a little bit of natural resistance at 475. And then if we break 475, we're going to test $5. And $5 is going to be our next major resistance line and pretty much the last resistance line before we start possibly getting real frisky here. So we're above 450. Let's see if 450 can hold support. 450 holding so far. If we hold 450 as support, we should be good to go for that move up to 5. But if 450 doesn't hold here, then that could be a problem. This like I said, 450 is major resistance for this. And that's why we're getting held up right now at it. So far, bid's still stacking 450, but unless we see a big buying volume spike come in here and blow this up over 450 real quick, we're going to probably hang out here for a minute, and we possibly could even pull back down to the bottom of the trend line. At this point, though, I don't think I'm going to be holding it back down to the trend line because I'm up, 35, 40 cents a share. And I don't want to give that back. So I may end up putting a stop loss in here under 450 if we can get up, if we start holding. 411. Actually, my entry is now below the trend line. The trend line is about 411. My entry is at 411, but if we can continue to push here, that trend line is going to continue to climb with us. 450 still holding. Up, starting to get a little rejection here. So we don't want to see it come all the way back down. We want to see at least hold 440. We hold 440 here for the continuous test of 450. We just sit on 440 and just poke at 450 until it's weakened enough. That'd be okay. Worst case, we want to hold 425. We don't hold 425, then we're probably going to have a pullback. Come on, you. 440 still holding. Oh, no, 440 just cracked. Bunch of selling on the 440 side. 435 trying to hold. Let's make sure we can hold up here. Don't crack much more. We do have a lot of time on this 15-minute candle. 13 minutes left. 12 minutes left, actually. So a lot could transpire on this candle, but we don't want to see it back down here to 4. This is also a triangle pattern. Now I'm looking at the top of that 450 resistance and this little uptrend we got. We're in a triangle pattern as well. But this is exactly the type of setups I was talking about, where you're getting in, you're getting in nice and low, right on a trend line. You can sit here and you can either lock out that profit when it has another bounce off of the trend line, if you want to take that quick scalp, or you can, hang out here for a minute, let it try to do its thing, because you're in so low, you're on the trend line. Like Austin being in at 398. He's just chilling right now. He's got a sunscreen on his nose, sitting in a beach chair with the sun shining on him, just deciding how much profit does he want out of this. Austin, you took some off at 450. I'm thinking about starting to take it off, but I'm waiting just a few more minutes. I'm trying to see about halfway through that 15-minute span on this candle which direction we're going to start going, because right now we just had that rejection off of 450, but we're still not dropping very hard. It wasn't that hard of a rejection. It was a 15-cent rejection when we just had a pop from 394 up to 473, which is almost a dollar move in that 15 candle. So a 15-cent rejection compared to the dollar rip we just had is not very much. Buyers are still in control of this, or seemingly so. And now we're back over 440, so we're going to give a little test of 450 again, probably in just a few minutes. If oh whoa, maybe not a few minutes. We may be doing it right now. Hold on a second now. Hold on a second now. Are you about to show that frisk? I was thinking a few minutes, but that shoot right back up to 448. Let's see if 440. Yeah, look at that 445 on the ask. Let's see if that breaks down. Not very much selling. Come on. There we go. Over four. Oh, there we go. We right over four. We just shot right over 450 for half a second. So we are testing pretty nicely here. Take these 450s out. We need to see this thing light up green with 450s, 451s, 452s. As time and sell starts lighting up. Oh, another rejection down to 445. 445 is starting to hold those bids. Let's keep pecking this 450. Peck, 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 peck. Peck, 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 peck. Little selling before there. 44, 449, 450 on the ass. Come on. Take them out. You can do it. Back down testing 440 as support. 445 still holding. Basically 445 to 455 is all holding as pretty strong resistance. And we did, woof, this is a stronger rejection. So that time we got rejected about a 20-cent rejection all the way back down to 430. And we're halfway through the 15-minute time on this candle. So another strong rejection there. Next time it comes up, if it doesn't break 450, if it comes back up, then I am going to start locking some of it out. See our trend line. It's getting up there. $435 trying to hold us some support. I need to get back above 440 here. All right, 440 is on the ask, so 440 acting as resistance instead of support. We don't want to see that continue to happen. Need to get right back over 440 here to keep this upward momentum. There we go. Bids trying to stack. Come on. Let's hold 440 again. Yeah, fell in the hold. We're right there at it. Come on. Just show me. There you go. Just show me that you want to stay at that 440 and keep testing 450. All right, give me just a second, guys. I'll be right back. I'm not gonna put a stop loss in yet. This won't take me long. I'll be right back. All right. Last 2 minutes of this 15-minute candle. We're still holding above 440. I want to see it close above 440, but I would really like to see it closing into 450. If we close into 450 and that momentum is in there, then on the opening of the next candle, we'd open up, with a candle above 450. Looking at this chart, we don't have one candle that has closed over 450 yet. Besides this last 15-minute candle. So if we get this candle closing over 450, that's going to give buyers some confidence in that 450 support. Well, it's resistance as of now, but that would give them confidence that may hold up as support and they could start coming in a little bit more. But we'll see. We're in the last minute here, last 50 seconds, and we are slowly creeping to that 450. We may, as long as it closes above 440, that's all I'm worried about at the moment. But I'd really like to see it closing in the 450. Let me go back into this hour chart, see what we're looking like on the hour. Oh God, the hour chart looks beautiful, other than just needs to break 450. Beautiful, beautiful. And then, of course, the open of this new candle is going to be the last 15 minutes of this hour candle. So that this last 15 minutes, we may see the move come, whether we're going to break out or if we're going to get rejected and have to go. So we open right there. Let's see if we start turning green or not. All right, we got to break 450 on this candle. And actually, if we break over the tops of these two bodies, it kind of flat topped at 458. If we can break over that, should be good. But, very, very indecisive right now. I'm going to go ahead and take off that 5 shares just to lock in a little something here, just in case, because we spent a lot of time here in this area without. Don't do all that. Stay. It's got a whole 440. If it comes, the trend line's now at 415. So still above my entry, but don't know. Like I said, I don't think I want to hold it down to there. Let's see. Where's the NQ at? Oh, God. Okay. So at the NQ right here, getting rejected up here at this top, if it starts dumping below 13,000, that could ruin our play. Got to keep that in mind. Ugh. Don't like that pullback we're having right now. But it may just be a little breather. Still got plenty of time on this 15-minute candle and the hour candle. I don't want to get too erratic yet. So 435 is trying to hold for the time being. We do want to see it start to get back over 440. Just tried but got rejected. A little bit of selling pressure. They just got taken out. Oh. Yeah. Let's see. We're going to get back over 440 here. Let me put this back on 60 just in case we do start cracking. Actually, I'm trying to hold 440 starting to stack a little bit. There we go. Come on, 440. Hold yourself up. There we go. Very nice. Let's see if buyers can push us back up to 450 here. Come on. You know, as this trend line is going up, we are getting further and further away from that original, you know, space back there. Oops, extended that the wrong way. There we go. Still fell to hold 440. Starting to lose 435. Oh, let's see. See if buyers come right back in at 435. Yep, they're trying to. There we go. See, is that a big order? That looks like maybe a big order sitting there. Let me spread this over a little bit. Thought I saw. Whatever that order was is gone now. We're still fell to hold 435. Coming into the last 10 minutes here. We are getting that little nippy right there. Little bottom nippy where buyers are oh, there we go. That's a nice size buy. That's 11,000 shares at 439. 10,000 shares. You got 1,000 taken out. He needs to move up to 440. There we go. Buyers just hopped over him. They saw that big order. Felt a little comfortable. Let's see if 440 starts to hold strong here. There you go. Come on. NQ at 1390, so it's retesting 13.1. Let me see here. Austin, you took some profits at 450. I don't blame you. Yeah, 13%, not bad. Fried chicken, I should take profits. It's going back to my entry. We'll see about that. I took a little bit of profit so far. You know, we're still testing this 450, 440 area. My entry is down here under the trend line, so you know, if it starts cracking 420, if it comes down and starts cracking like 430, 425, I'll just lock it out and it'll be a small profit. But I'm not going to jump all the way out of this yet. Where the hour chart is still going up on this trend line at the moment. And we're fixing to close into a new hour. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Because I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know if this 450 is going to break for sure or not. I just know that the setup is a good setup into that resistance. But nobody right now in the all-knowingness of any technical analysis or anything knows for sure that this is going to break 450 within this next 8 minutes or not, or if it's going to come down to $4. We are in complete indecision at this resistance line. No, why would it be overextended? The 10-day moving average is right there. It's barely overextended. But you, like the hour chart, of course, is going to be a better thing to look at. Let me get this damn line off here. Than just the 15-minute. But I mean, looking at the daily chart, we're barely up. we're barely up from the low of the year. So I don't know. If you want to look at just one time frame of the hour and make your whole analysis, then you're missing out the whole daily chart analysis that you need to be making. So we did just crack down below 430. Let's see if 425 holds as support. Still got 6 minutes on this candle left. But that does not look great. Do not want to see that crack. Need to see 425 hold here. So I got my finger on the trigger. If 425 can't hold, then I am getting out. Some selling pressure at 425. Twelve line. I don't think I said anything about a 12 line. At this moment, the most important thing in the analysis is that it holds 425. If it doesn't hold 425, the play is done. So the reason why it needs to hold 425 is because that's where the trend line is, right? There's the trend line. So 415, 425. But not only that, back here, the top of this candle is about 415. Right in this whole area, 425 has been holding as support and resistance for the last 30 minutes. It's been holding as, actually longer than that, about 30 minutes it's been holding as support. We are cracking that 425 here, so I may be about to hop out. But we're still holding the trend line. Got 4 minutes left. Now, if it does crack here, it could dump very hard because it is very low float, so you got to be aware of that. NQ is still struggling on that 13.1 area. Let's see if in those last 4 minutes we can get back up over 425. Hey, man, nothing wrong with that, John F. It got real sketchy at that 450. I don't blame you locking in that profit there. Same thing with Austin. You guys, being smart, taking your ATM withdrawal at that major resistance. Because it may not break. Like I said, 450 is very, very strong resistance. And 5 will be next. But with it being very strong resistance, it may just need, 15, 20 minutes, as long as it's holding the trend line, to get out the rest of these sellers that may be locking in profits. Because, if anybody got in pre-market at $3, they're going to be locking out at $4.50. That's a whole $1.50 move so far that this thing has made. So we want those sellers or those buyers back here to get all their shares out up here. And that's what's happening right now, I believe. But again, we got to keep an eye on the NQ or the SPY or something. If the overall market really starts dumping, it could be bad. Coming in at 2 minutes left, we're starting to test 425 again. See some selling. There we go. Back over 425. Bid starting to stack. Looks like 2/3 of you will make. I have a feeling the fried chicken is somebody trolling, either One Life or Daniel B, but maybe not. Either way, that was a good joke. 2/3 of you are going to make some money. I caught that. That was a good joke. That was a good joke. It's a nice slick diss. You got me on that one. That's funny. Good stuff. All right, so we're starting to push back up in the last minute of this candle. Let's see if we can get back over 440 here, because we are right back up at it. What a slick diss that was. I respect it. I respect a very intelligent slick diss like that. Look here, last minute of this, we're coming back up. See, not much at 445, breaking over 450. What did I say? We had to get them sellers out of there. We had to get them boys out of there. They was in the way. Now it's lunchtime. They done sold their positions. Let's see if 450 starts holding here. Ooh boy, coming up to up to 459. 15 seconds on this candle left. This will be another candle closing over. Oh God, we're gonna close over 450 easily. 8 seconds, 5 seconds. We may even start pushing here. Beautiful open on that candle. If this candle starts going up, we're going probably to, we'll at least get to 5, maybe 6. Where's my, yeah, there we go. Give me my quantities. I am going to lock another 5 out just because. Just right above 450, but we are holding. Just want to lock in a little bit more profit. Ooh, the bid stacked like crazy. I think that was 455. Okay, it just got taken out. So we're still fighting here. We're not breaking out yet. We are fighting still. We're showing some strength, but like I said, so we can push up for a new high. See, rejected again off 450. You know what? I'm going to make this a nice even number. Just make it 50 shares and lock out another 5. So that's 15 locked out. And then I've got 50 left. Whoa, not 550. And then we'll see if we can start to take off here in a few minutes. Very indecisive, but we're holding right on 445 at the moment. Let's see, BLT going crazy. Fried chicken, you're in bite. I don't even know what bite is. You would be you would have a name like fried chicken and be in a stock named Bite. What other stocks is on your watch list? Gravy? What you got on there? Biscuit? What else? Extra crispy? Let's see. CRISPR Therapeutics, CRSP, CRISP. Is that on your watch list? I don't even know what's going on BLTE. I have no idea what's happening over there. And at the moment, I'm not concerned about it because I have to stay right here on OST while we're sitting here testing this 450 area. We're in very. See, we're starting to kind of crack that uptrend now. So now our distance has gotten further away. Oof. So another hard rejection at 450. Still not able to hold it. See see, where's this bottom at? 391. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're starting to dump here. I'm going to lock it out. I don't like that. So got a hard rejection. I wasn't able to make as much profit as I wanted, but I did hop out there before it dropped on me too hard. But I'm not going to hold it below my entry at this point when I've been in this whole entire time, you know, back here. And I've been up the whole entire time. So that's fine. Couldn't break, and that's what I was worried about. 450 being way too strong. You can see on the hour chart where we're starting, like I said, we were cracking out of that trend line there. And as soon as we started cracking and it started coming down near my entry, I got to get out. I'm not holding this into the red. Not holding any plays into the red if I'm in the green. I've been doing that the last couple of weeks and it's been costing me, so I'm not doing it anymore. So I'll take my little $5. Didn't work out as with the complete high reward, but hey, better than red. So let's take a look at BLTE, because at the moment, I mean, this play may not be done, but it does not look great now that it's lost that upward momentum of trying to hold 425. Well, I don't know. It's starting to push back up again. It might have. I don't know. We'll see. Let's check out this BLTE real quick. BLTE. What is going on with this? So this looks like another IPO play. Had a double bottom there. If you're in at 1160, you're doing really well on BLTE. You're up in some profits, but you are getting some rejection up in this area. There's a lot of strong resistance in this 15 to 17 area, kind of the same thing, because this is an IPO as well, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me check the daily chart before I say that. Yeah, this is an IPO as well. This is the same type of play as, what was I in? OST, except for the fact that OST, where I got in at, was way down here compared to, what is that? BLTE, you're getting in, you know, you're not in a bad spot. You're in a pretty good spot if you're in at 1160. You're sitting in the sunshine too. But $15, just a natural strong resistance area. So that's why it's getting held up there. So far not, let me see. Let me go back to this hour chart. Yeah, so really not much of an uptrend to look at on the hour chart. Your only uptrend is this uptrend right here, which is pretty steep at this point. Pretty steep. But as long as it's holding in there, you've got upward momentum in your favor. Starts cracking that. Bingo bango. It'll be done. SNOA. See, this is what I was saying, man. I'm going to have to go and yell at HH for taking this trade on Sanoa. That when on the daily chart, when you open like this in no man's land, it is always very risky. You do not want to be in no man's land between EMAs. The open was right there at $4. Because you got all that room down. And you could rip, but it's just no man's land. It's just a bad place to look for a place to enter. And H might not have seen that. I don't know if he saw it. I didn't watch the whole stream. I was only in there for a couple of minutes. I just saw he was on this play, but I couldn't see the daily chart until I got in my live stream here, and then I was like, "Oh God, H, what was you thinking?" But we all make those
mistakes. I ain't like jumping H at all for his trade. He's his own trader. I'm just saying. What the hell was he thinking? Oh, there he is. Good. Good. Oh, you saw it, you looked at the daily chart late? Yep. 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 That's the mistake I usually make, is I forget to look at the daily chart sometimes, and you see that daily chart, then you're like, oh god, that was not a great play. It happens. It happens to the best of us. I'm glad you were in here to hear me talk trash about you, because I'd have felt bad. I mean, I ought to talk trash to you later here when we get on the call anyway, but you know the deal. Okay. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy, that SPY is starting to come down. Almost down at 13,000. Let's see what news we got here. U.S. factory orders rise sharply in March, boosted by... Wait, what? How does that make any sense? Let me read this. Let's see. Orders up 2.2%, more than double estimates, but data doesn't adjust for higher prices. So basically, the data, this orders up being up 2% does not adjust for inflation. Okay, so this is an inaccurate number, which is why I said this doesn't make any sense when I looked at the headline. They were expecting a 1% increase. Been a factory sector has been a bright spot during the pandemic and its aftermath. Factory orders have risen 22 of the past 23. Well, we shut down all the factories. When you shut down all the factories, then of course everything is going to continue to rise. Oh god, it's so stupid. All right, here. The government reports the data in nominal terms and doesn't account for inflation. That's what I've been saying. These charts, these US dollar charts you're looking at, they do not calculate inflation. The government CPI number doesn't calculate true inflation. They changed it about 20 years ago, something like that. I think it was early 2000s, maybe even 90s, where they changed the way the CPI records inflation. So the 9.5% inflation we're at now is actually a little bit higher than that. But if you are basing your analysis of the economy and of the markets, whether it be stock market or whatever, off of U.S. dollar charts, off of U.S. dollar statistics from the government, from the Federal Reserve, you are more than likely analyzing completely blind. So you got to understand those type of things. Now we're on a day trade like OST, where I don't give a shit what was going on with the PR or anything like that. I was just following this upward momentum. That doesn't matter. None of that stuff I was just talking about really matters. This is just a momentum day trade. But as far as looking at the markets overall, in general, you do have to incorporate your own inflation into your analysis. Well, not your own inflation, but you have to incorporate inflation into your analysis, into your own analysis, I should say. All right. What's up, Sicilian? Oh, you cut the loss right after you realized how stupid it was? Okay, good. Like I said, I didn't see the whole stream. Exactly, John F. I didn't see that previous comment you said there. Those quick flushes on some stocks lately have been scary. Yeah, that is how the market has been. There's very little consistency, which is why you have to be very, very specific on your setups. So our Iqbal Salam, you said check. You said check hour, please. Let's see here. What do we got going on? Hour is below the 200. Let's see. The beginning of the year is up to 1033. Got a pretty strong downtrend that has to break somewhere right along there. I'm actually going to say it's about $4 because that's where it's getting rejected at today. Yeah, it's getting rejected at $4. So it's got to break this downtrend. And even if it breaks this downtrend, it has the 200-day at 550. That is also the previous peaks here. That is also congestion back through here and where the 200-day moving average is at. So 550 is going to be a ton of resistance, like a ton. And then, of course, $5, $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100, those price areas are all natural support and resistance. So $5 as well, you can see right along here before the 200, before the 550 is also some resistance. So this thing has the down, I mean, let's see here. Let me get my pen. Hold on a second. I got a pen. I got a new pen that I'm going to use. I like it better than thinkorswim's pen. Whoops. And I can write wherever the hell I feel like it. This thing is really nice. So, let me get my little drawing tool here. So you've got all, whoa. That's too big, bro. Come on now. Calm down. Calm down with that. Let me get my highlighter adjusted here. Where's my size? I need a smaller size. There we go. How's that look? Yeah, there we go. So all of this is resistance. This stock will not be bullish until it can break through all of that. I mean, it's like a building collapsed on top of this stock, and the stock is going to have to crawl out from under all of this collapse. This building that's sitting on top of it, all of these ceilings and multiple floors that are sitting on top of it there. On the other hand, as far as the support side, you do have a bit of an uptrend. But even with that uptrend, the 10-day moving average is still below the 50. So at the moment, the EMAs are still bearish. This thing, again, it's going to have to get up through this resistance to even get this 10-day to cross the 50. If not, it could pull back down. And you can just see all these different times, these wicks, where every time it's hit, did that line move? Oh, that line did move. I didn't know my line would move. How about line? Pull it back up. Give me that line. Nope. Nope, now I'm drawing with thinkorswim again. Damn it. Anyway, let's just back out of that. There we go. Because you can see it, with all these lines, you can see all of that pressure. So it's going to take a lot. Whatever you're looking for on this, it's going to take a whole lot for it to break all that resistance. And then when you incorporate in the NASDAQ and where it's at, and actually, let me flip over to Trading View. And show you this real quick. Where did the Trading View go? Damn you, Trading View. Why are you always where I don't need you to be? Okay, there we go. So, show everybody this pattern on the NASDAQ that is formed. There's our downtrend on the NASDAQ, but right here, This pattern right here. Who can tell me what this pattern is? I'm gonna take this line off. First one in the chat. Who's got it? Who's got it? What is this pattern? Quick test, quick quiz. Yeah, Lori, there's just a lot going on right now, so it's kind of hard for me and Hal to sync up our schedules to do the last rips. We want to do more last rips. Well, I do anyway. Have to ask Al about that. A double bottom. Where's your double bottom at on this pattern, John F? There we go. Lauren, head and shoulders. This is a head and shoulders pattern. I can actually use TradingView's drawing. This is your head, shoulder, shoulder. And then you draw your man. Oops, I accidentally, hold on. Well, no, we'll just leave those legs like that. I don't know why, never mind. Let's just ignore that. And then your arms down. So as a guy, makes a little guy. All right. So now when we look at this head and shoulders, and we know what happens with head and shoulders patterns, and we scroll back on this chart, this is where it gets scary at. Let me keep scrolling back here. Hold on, let me go into a weekly chart. All right. There we go. So this little guy, this right here is the COVID dip on this arrow. Repo market cover up, housing dip.com crash. This little guy up here, this little head and shoulders. Looks like this guy's about to jump off this cliff. So we have the 200-day left at 11.5 for the NASDAQ. And that's it. After 11.5, we could drop all the way down to 10 right at pre-COVID dip levels, and then even dump down to that low during COVID dip levels. You know, if things do not turn around, this man is going to walk right off of this cliff. So, nasty looking chart on the NQ overall. Nasty. Horrifying. Anyway. Yeah, it's a head and, yeah, you could say that. A head and shoulders is, you can draw a whole stick figure. Nobody really draws the body and the legs. I just do that just to kind of show that, you know, it does look like a human. It does look like a stick figure. But the main idea is, you know, your shoulders stick up, but they don't stick up quite as high as your head, right? So shoulder, which is a pivot point, you know, price action ran into that resistance, fell down, shot back up, and then we've consolidated at these highs for a while, but failed. So that made a head, and then we hit another pivot point right here, which is the start of that downtrend. We had bounced off of the bottom of that support. It's that same support area. That's why I say at 13 cracks, we're going to be continuing this head and shoulders pattern, this arm down below 13. So it's holding for now, but with the Feds announcing a half point interest rate hike on Wednesday, I expect a pullback. And that is also probably going to shoot up interest rates on housing again, because at the moment 30-year fixed mortgages are at 5.5%. And that's 5.5% is like if you've got good credit. So if you're going FHA loan or anything like that, and you've got like a 650 credit score, 600, you're probably looking more at 6.5% on a 30-year fixed, maybe even 7. It's going to be bad, and this is what I want to. This is what I want to talk about earlier. We're going to get into this, and then I'm going to call it a day for this stream, and then we'll be back a little bit later on the God's channel. Or not God's channel, but the crypto channel for some God's gameplay. Where did you go, Trading View? Get you back over here. So, what was I looking for? Oh, real estate market. So we are seeing same thing as the NASDAQ here. Got that downtrend, head and shoulders pattern on the real estate index. Head, shoulder, shoulder. Now, here's where it gets real interesting. I'll go ahead and draw the rest of the man for you guys. There's the man. Arm down, arm down. So, with interest rates at 5.5%, possibly going to go up with this rate hike, more than likely, I would think would. You're going to have nobody in the middle class or lower class able to buy houses. So, unless they have cash. The US dollar has been strengthening, which has caused the drop of all these assets. I think the US dollar may have been strengthening because the big boys in charge were pulling out of all assets, going cash in expectation of the real estate market about to crash. But here's the thing. Here's where it gets real crazy at. If that is the case, the real estate market would drop, the dollar would drop, but the dollar would drop in strength because they would be going from US dollar into real estate. We are setting up to be a humongous renter nation because the people who do get mortgages with that high of interest rates, or they refinance with that high of interest rates, they're not going to be able to pay it. I did see foreclosures are up. Foreclosure listings are going up. People are already foreclosing because they already don't have money. So nobody in the middle and lower class is going to be able to buy any of these houses when the real estate market does dump, except for the big investors, institutions, the government buying. They'll be able to have cash to buy it all up. And then, of course, they're just going to rent it out to everybody. So it's going to become more and more expensive to be able to purchase a house in US dollars. Because at the same time, even though rates are rising, inflation is still pushing up as well. So you are getting the damage from the high interest rates and the damage from your US dollar purchasing power being less, right? So it takes a lot more dollars to buy a house. So I think we're going to see the housing market crash, eat it first. We're going to see the stock market follow behind the housing market, and then we will see the dollar crash as these great deals for cash investors in the real estate market, because as I'll always say, real estate is the number one asset because you can always build more value onto a piece of land. You can buy a piece of land and build a whole theme park on it if you want to. So real estate always number one asset. And it makes perfect sense for all of the big world leaders and all the big investors to want to buy all of the real estate. When you think about that, you're like, okay, they're going to own a lot of the real estate. We're going to be a renter nation. We already have a lot of rent problems, all that, blah, 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 blah. You're going to have a hard time if you're like a precious metals investor or something like that, holding your assets safely in your own property if you don't own your own property. Like if you rent, your landlord could come in, and dig around because it's their house. So if everybody's renting, your physical assets is going to be not that secure because you're going to be subject to not being an actual landowner. And I never received any COVID unemployment checks, Daniel B. I got, one of those stimulus checks was. And of course, that immediately went into anything but the U.S. dollar. But anyway, so if a lot of investors and stuff, retail investors, middle class, lower class, doesn't have places to securely hold their physical precious metals or whatever assets, well, now they're going to be forced to go to things like Peter Schiff's. What is Peter Schiff's? I think, it's Schiff Gold. That's what it's called. Schiff Gold. Go to something like Peter Schiff's Gold here, where you can buy the gold and they will hold it for you. So vault storage, right? You force everybody not to own real estate, then they've got to pay other people who have real estate, like Peter Schiff, who has a vault, to store your assets in that vault. So they're setting this up to where you will own nothing and be happy. That is the slogan of the World Econ Forum. Klaus Schwab, the founder, said by 2030. I can see exactly what they're doing on the economic side. Everything else going on, the Ukraine war, all this other stuff, pretty much distraction from what is really going on. And when everybody's forced to do this, are people going to do this? Or are they going to go into cryptocurrencies where you can easily store them in a wallet on your phone? Everybody has their phone on them at all times. Even if you're renting and you have your cryptos in your wallet and it's a secure wallet like MetaMask, well, then those assets can't be breached by the government or anything like that. However, as bullish as I am on cryptos, I said before that my opinion on cryptos is different than my analysis on cryptos. My opinion is that blockchain technology will take over everything, but cryptocurrencies themselves could be used by governments to control us. You control the currency supply just like they do now. They control the U.S. dollar. It's fiat currency. And we're all sitting here waiting every week like, oh God, what's Jerome Powell going to say about the U.S. dollar now? Oh no, the U.S. dollar. And that is the problem. The U.S. dollar is not the end-all, be-all. So when they control the currency, it would be easier to control the currency if it is a cryptocurrency. That's why it's so important and why I'm always pushing for decentralized crypto projects. I do not want nothing to do with Hedera Hashgraph because I know Google and a couple other major companies are behind that crypto. So that is not a decentralized crypto. I only want to see, and I am only bullish on decentralized programs or software, crypto, all of that. I am not bullish on all crypto. There's a big difference. And when looking at the crypto market compared to the NASDAQ, there's a lot of little nuances like that that you do have to realize. As far as charting that goes, though, it's all the same. But it does look like at the rate we are going, they are trying to push everybody out of owning any assets, any physical assets, right? Because crypto's not physical. Crypto's the perfect thing, though, for that case scenario where everybody owns nothing. If people start living more in a virtual reality world with virtual reality headsets because of these NFT spaces, these decentralized project spaces and whatnot, then cryptocurrency is the only currency that you would need if most of your life is on the internet. But I will be damned if I get into any currencies where the government has any control over them, and especially fiat currencies. That's why I don't hold cash, and that's why I got this so wrong this last couple of months, because I did not think the U.S. dollar was going to rebound like it did. I didn't even think that was a possibility with the inflation. Like, how does the U.S. dollar strengthen when it's at 10% inflation? That makes no sense. So that's how I got that wrong, is because they manipulate, their manipulation and everything to try to pull off this real estate deal, I think is what pushed the U.S. dollar up, this false sense of security. I was thinking it was, investors looking and believing the data from the feds, but I don't think big investors are believing the data from the feds now at all. And if they are investors or institutions that directly, happen to have Jerome Powell on speed dial, then they're going to do whatever they want to do, and that's where I think I got it wrong with cryptos, because cryptos I've been thinking was going to rebound this whole time, but they are trying to drive all asset prices down and crash real estate. Real estate's, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be real estate. That's going to be the main market. That is going to probably be the biggest transfer of wealth in history. I mean, we're already going into, we've already been in the biggest transfer of wealth in history, but that's how you finish it. Take away all the real estate, take away all the land, and nobody owns land anymore. You can figure that out yourself. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that one life. Building a compound on it, put a little barn up. You can throw some solar panels on the roof of your little barn. Throw a couple mining computers in there. Talk to Crypto Corey Mining. He can hook you up. How to set up those miners for Litecoin and Helium and all of that. Then you can also, if you got your own little compound, something else I recommend doing is getting worms and getting depending on where you live, you might already have good enough dirt, but you make a worm farm with the dirt, and the worms will fertilize that dirt and turn it into what they call black gold, which is fertilizer dirt that is the best possible for growing multiple plants. And the price of black gold dirt has been skyrocketing due to inflation and due to the lack of farmland and farmers that we have. Bill Gates has been buying up tons of farmland. So if you got your own compound and you got that black gold that you can sell in your little worm farm, you can also sell those worms to people who are trying to fish, and you can also use that fertilizer yourself to grow other fruits, vegetables, flowers, whatever, that you can then sell for more money. So the whole thing with the compound is sustainability, and that's what you want to have. You want to be self-sustainable and not have to rely on the grocery store or anything else. Let's see. Lauren, you said, Robin, you just plan to build a Conex bunkers. Uh, do you cash though? Was the question about cash? Do you cash though? What do you mean by that? Lauren, yeah. I mean, bullets can be a currency. Okay, let me pop up that there on realtor.com. DB, you're going to sell solar baseball hats. You can charge your phone while walking on the sun. Well, I hope that works out for you. You don't need to buy a worm farm. You create a worm farm. And you can install a bonus nice propeller to boost the speed charge. Y'all are talking crazy. With a cow house. There you go, the cow house. Does it look like a cow? Is that what you're saying? Oh yeah, God almighty. Phew. Prices, man. These real estate prices. Jeez. Arizona has skyrocketed. I mean, I knew it was skyrocketing, but God almighty, it's up since the last time I looked at it with you, Lauren. Like, holy hell. They decorated like cows. All right, guys. Well, we're hitting that 2-hour mark. I'm going to call it a day. OST was unable to hold that trend line. SOUN starting to curl over. Do have LTBR with a rebound. That's one of those uranium plays. HYMC, the gold play. So Q1 for Highcroft Mining, they did pull out 5,500 ounces of gold and 17,000 ounces of silver. So they are pulling metal out of the ground. So HYMC, especially if gold starts to come back up, should be on everybody's watch list for potential move up if gold bounces off this trend line. You can see right here, this is the gold futures. It's right there on the 200 and on the trend line in this 1850 area. So we get that bounce back up. We can see HYMC, see some action, get back into it. Blue Apron, still another one to kind of keep on watch, as it is. It seems to be getting its rips at the beginning of the day. Well, actually, hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me draw the actual channel uptrend. Bada bing. So your channel trend line is about right there. So I'd say it's got room maybe up to 5 to try to test today. But if it does like it did yesterday and just goes sideways all day, it may not even try to pop up with a 5 until tomorrow. Forge is still one to watch. Very bullish, but quite a ways off of this previous support. I'd like to see some type of pullback, but I mean, the pullback I'd be looking for would be way back down here to 15 or 17, and that's half of the price, so I don't know if it can even do it. It looks like it's really starting to, well, I don't know. Until we see, let's see, what is that, $30 basically? Yeah, $30 is major resistance because it was this previous little gap down right there where this was holding right on support. VTNR. That's another play that's been slowly uptrending, holding around $10 today on the daily chart. Not looking terrible. Almost like a little cup and handle. Got the big cup there, and then your little handle just needs to break about $10, $50, $11. And I could try to push up for some new highs. SNOA is just dead. BLTE cracked, so that's dead. Both those IPO plays done. And that's about all I'm seeing. So, that's it for me today. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for joining me as always. I see we got a few like buttons in there on the few like button pushes there, and everybody on Twitch, shout out to you for joining us. We seem to be holding some very good results here with this new streaming software. So if the streaming software holds up, I will be streaming everything that I stream from this channel to the crypto channel, all to the Framework Fortune Twitch channel. Twitch has no delays in streaming, so if you want to follow us on Twitch, or if you watch on Twitch more often than you do YouTube, you can find us just by going to twitch.tv/Framework Fortune. Simple as that. Appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.
This is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering.